Have you ever felt like the person you used to be no longer fits? As if the stories, the goals, the thoughts that once defined you have started to fall away? You feel something stirring deep within, a shift, a pull, a quiet awakening. And once it begins, you can't go back. Spiritual awakening isn't a trend or a one-time revelation. It's a profound journey inward, not to something new, but to something deeply remembered. In this video, we'll walk through the 7 stages of spiritual awakening, the invisible map many souls follow as they begin to wake up. It's not a straight line, not a checklist, but a spiral of becoming, where you fall, rise, and evolve again and again. Let's explore each stage with honesty and presence. This is where it all begins. But you don't know it's a stage until you've left it. Here, you live inside the mind, fully identified with your ego. Your thoughts narrate your life, and you believe every word. You chase success. You seek validation. You fear rejection. You react, defend, compete. Everything is personal. Someone's opinion feels like a threat. Someone's distance feels like abandonment. Every challenge becomes proof that life is unfair, or worse, that you are unworthy. This stage is not wrong. It's just unaware. There's no gap between your inner noise and your sense of self. No stillness, no witness, no clarity. But then, something shifts. Maybe it's heartbreak, or burnout, or loss, or simply a feeling you can't explain. And in that moment, the illusion begins to crack. You start to question, is this all there is? That question is the first whisper of awakening. Once the questioning begins, the ego begins to break down. This isn't subtle, it's a storm. The version of you that was built on roles, achievements, opinions, and appearances starts to dissolve. What once felt stable becomes unsteady. Your career, your relationships, your identity. The goals that drove you no longer inspire you. The friends who once understood you now feel distant. This is ego collapse. And it feels like falling into nothingness. You begin to realize that what you've called you was mostly a set of learned patterns, inherited beliefs, social programming, protection mechanisms. The collapse is painful because the ego doesn't go quietly. It resists, it clings, it fights to survive. But what's breaking isn't the real you, it's the mask. In the space left behind, something quieter emerges, a watcher, a witness, a presence, and for the first time, you glimpse a deeper truth. I am not my story. This is terrifying and freeing. The outer world may stay the same, but inside, everything begins to change. After the collapse comes curiosity. A spiritual fire awakens inside you, burning not with panic, but with purpose. You crave understanding. You search for answers. You start to consume knowledge, not for validation, but for remembrance. You dive into spiritual books. Watch videos that make your soul tingle. Explore meditation, breathwork, astrology, energy healing, ancient wisdom. Synchronicities begin to appear. You notice repeating numbers. Dreams become more vivid. Your intuition sharpens. You begin to sense that there is no such thing as random. The universe begins to speak in symbols, feelings, and silence. And somehow, you understand it. You question everything you once accepted: religion, education, culture, authority, even time and death. You realize the matrix isn't just digital, it's mental, and you're unplugging from it. But be gentle. This stage is exhilarating, but also overwhelming. The fire must be tended, not rushed. You're not here to collect information. You're here to integrate truth. Let the fire rise, but don't let it consume you. This is the valley. After the high of discovery, the shadows return, and this time, you face them fully. The dark night of the soul is not depression, it's transformation. You are no longer numb, you are finally feeling. Everything you avoided surfaces. Old pain, abandonment wounds, unprocessed trauma, hidden shame. You question everything again, but now, from within, you feel lost, you feel alone, you feel like the light has left. But the truth is, you're being emptied, not to be destroyed, but to be made new. You begin to grieve for the self you never got to be. You shed the roles you played for approval. You release the weight you've carried for lifetimes. In the darkness, your soul becomes louder. Your mind quiets. Your intuition speaks. Your sensitivity deepens. This is sacred alchemy. And though it hurts, this is where you reclaim your light. When the darkness begins to lift, you're not the same. And that's the point. You don't return to who you were. You begin to become who you are. Your words change. Your boundaries strengthen. Your energy shifts. You start speaking your truth, even when your voice trembles. You walk away from what drains you, even when it's scary. You say yes to what aligns, even if no one else understands. This is the emergence of the authentic self. You no longer chase people. You attract truth. You embody it. You no longer compromise your soul for comfort. You honor your inner knowing. The masks fall off. The shoulds lose power. You stop asking for permission to be yourself. Your intuition becomes your compass. Your body becomes your ally. Your emotions become messengers, not enemies. You may still feel doubt, but you no longer live inside it. You're not perfect. You're real. And that's powerful. This stage is about depth, stability, presence. Here, awakening becomes a lifestyle, not just a phase. You begin to live what you've learned. Your boundaries are clear. Your habits reflect your truth. Your relationships evolve or fall away naturally. You are no longer seeking high after high. You find peace in the ordinary. You enjoy being alone. But you feel connected to all. You no longer need to prove anything. You are the proof. You speak with calm power. You listen more than you talk. You give without losing yourself. You walk with quiet certainty. This is embodiment. You've moved beyond identity into integrity. You begin teaching, not through lessons, but through your presence. And when the old wounds surface again, you welcome them with love. You don't fear the spiral, because you trust the process now. You are becoming grounded light. This is the return, not to the world, but to your true nature. You begin to live from the heart, but see through the soul. You feel connected to everything: the stars, the soil, the breeze, the stranger, the silence. Separation dissolves, not as a theory, but as experience. You stop asking, "What should I do?" and start asking, "What does love look like here?" You serve without ego. You give without expectation. You live without fear. You no longer try to be spiritual. You simply are. You see the divine in others, even when they don't see it yet. This isn't about floating in bliss. It's about becoming fully present. You become the quiet eye in life's storm, the grounded soul in a chaotic world, the calm presence in a room full of noise. This is oneness, where you and life are no longer separate. You are not the drop. You are the ocean in motion. So, which stage are you in right now? There's no right answer, no linear path, no perfect route. You might cycle through them. You might revisit the darkness. You might jump between fire and peace. It's all part of the spiral. It's all sacred. And it's all awakening. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're becoming. If this message spoke to something deep in you, leave a comment and let us know what stage you're feeling. And if you're ready to keep walking this path, subscribe to Spiritual Labyrinth, because here we don't chase truth. We return to it together. Until next time, breathe, feel, and come home to yourself.